Well, them is his titles. It's all respect. Like I told everybody for a long time. I'm like, man, me and Canelo. I got a ton of respect for Canelo. I'm a fan of Canelo. I always been a fan of Canelo, and I wanted to be the one to give him back his belts. I didn't want my team to hand him back his belts. I wanted to be the one to give him back his belts.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the center of the ring. And earlier you gave it to him, but then you started outboxing and outsmarting him with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied his film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left and when to move right. He was a very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
The only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory, in a test tube, because that was science. That was pure science. No two ways about it.
Arena witnessed a historic upset as Crawford stunned the world by dethroning Canelo in a way no one expected, sending shockwaves through the boxing world and ushering in a new era. In the midst of the celebration, Crawford's father calmly declared, "I always knew my son was this good." Words that reflected years of sacrifice, late nights, and unshakable belief, proving that true greatness is built over time, not overnight. His statement captured the essence of a lifetime of faith and a victory that will forever reshape boxing's story. And as the dust settled, Roy Jones added his own perspective, speaking with the authority of a legend who has lived inside the ring and knows real greatness when he sees it.
Brother, he's going to be up there somewhere close to the top 5.
Roy Jones's statement was no ordinary remark. It was the seal of approval from one of boxing's greatest minds, adding even more weight to Crawford's triumph. This wasn't hype. It was genuine recognition, the kind that leaves a lasting mark in the sport's history. With that, Crawford's victory rose beyond being just another win. It became a standard to measure against the legends themselves, shifting the debate to where he belongs among the immortals. Soon after, veteran analyst Gareth A. Davies weighed in, his respected voice blending awe with sharp analysis, perfectly capturing the true magnitude of the moment.
I picked Canelo because I thought he was so much bigger, almost three weight divisions above him. But the majesty and poise of Terence Crawford's brilliance tonight was to the fore. I had it 9 rounds to 3. I can just about see 8 rounds to 4, the 16-12 score. I cannot see 7 rounds to 5 from 2 of the judges. Terence Crawford tonight, speed of thought, speed of hands, speed of feet, took it to Canelo when he had to. Canelo had no answers to him. For me, Terence Crawford moves up to the number 1 pound-for-pound spot in the sport right now, above Naoya Inoue, above Alexander Usyk. He is incredible. To become, historically, a 3-weight undisputed world champion, it just beggars belief what he's managed to do. He was immense tonight. He took it with humility. There was a little bit of emotion afterwards. But from first to last, I have to say it, Canelo did not have the answers for him. So let's take nothing away from Crawford. It was all of his doing.
Oh, absolutely.
He was the one that made Canelo look older, slower, and without...
This wasn't simple praise. It was a precise technical assessment that highlighted Crawford's command in every aspect of the fight. His performance wasn't painted as luck or surprise, but as undeniable brilliance, analyzed with the clarity of someone who knows the sport inside out. Each observation confirmed that this was no mere upset, but a masterpiece unfolding in the ring, solidifying Crawford's place at boxing's peak. Following that, Adam Catterall added his breakdown, stripping away emotion and focusing on pure analysis, detailing with sharp accuracy how Crawford systematically dismantled a champion, step by step.
He schooled him from start to finish. Listen, it was cagey at the start, don't get me wrong. There was a little bit of nip and tuck, there was a little bit of downloading the data, seeing what the situation is. Interesting that for the full 12 rounds, he only boxed in southpaw. No switch hitting tonight, stayed in southpaw. A little bit of downloading of the data, and then just gradually went through the gears up to round 4, and that's when he started to put his foot down. Everything Canelo did tonight, Bud Crawford had an answer.
Every remark underscored the dominance Crawford displayed from start to finish. It wasn't just about winning rounds, it was about controlling the entire narrative of the fight. Adam's analysis revealed the completeness of the performance, leaving no questions unanswered and no weaknesses exposed. It was a true masterclass, one that elevated Crawford's legacy to new heights. And Adam went further still, diving deeper into the elements that made the night historic. his words carrying the raw intensity of someone who had just witnessed greatness unfold before his eyes.
Go back and watch the previews that we did throughout the course of the week. We said that this is a game of IQ. There's going to be movement within the fight. You're going to have to answer different types of questions and bring different types of game plan. Crawford did that. He was able to do it backwards. He was able to do it forwards. He could trade in the pocket, catch the stuff, and then counter. He was absolutely magnificent. Listen, I know this is raw and we've only just walked out the stadium, right?
10 minutes ago.
And when the dust settles on this, we'll probably have better answers and better thought processes. And I'm sure people watching this will get stuck into the comments and maybe say what I'm about to say is quite outlandish. That might be the single best performance that I have ever witnessed live. It was absolutely tremendous. You've got to take into consideration the weight jump. This is a man that was champion at 135, 140, 147, and obviously recently at 154. But let's be honest, he even jumped up to 154 pounds for that. To go then up to 168 and take on the former pound-for-pound #1 king on a Mexican holiday weekend in Las Vegas.
It wasn't analysis for the sake of breaking things down. It was admiration for a display that stretched the boundaries of what boxing can represent. Crawford's ability to adjust, respond, and maintain control in every moment was described as a masterpiece in motion. Adams' reflections carried the weight of witnessing something rare and unforgettable, a performance destined to be remembered as one of the sport's finest demonstrations of skill. By broadening the view to the bigger picture of Crawford's rise, Adam made the victory feel even more monumental, especially considering the leap across weight divisions.
Jump. This is a man that was champion at 135, 140, 147, and obviously recently at 154. But let's be honest, he even jumped up to 154 pounds for that. To go then up to 168 and take on the former pound-for-pound #1 king on a Mexican holiday weekend in Las Vegas and managed to beat him on the cards when the judges tried to do him. Mate, it is out of this world what Terence Crawford just did. And he needs all the flowers in the world. He needs all the praise in the world. And I don't think you're wrong, mate, by saying he's the pound-for-pound #1. It's an ever-moving list. That performance alone deserves to put him right at the top.
He reminded the world of Crawford's leap in weight, the towering odds against him, and the fact that it all unfolded on boxing's brightest stage. This was bigger than just defeating Canelo. It was about overcoming everything that should have made victory impossible. Adams' words didn't simply portray Crawford as a winner. They elevated him into the realm of history makers. With that, the triumph was cemented as one of the sport's greatest achievements, deserving every accolade. Then came Paulie Malignaggi, beginning his breakdown with a statement that immediately set the tone, casting the entire night as more than a fight. It was history in motion.
Bud Crawford makes history. I mean, that's the only way I can really start out this video. A lot to unpack on an amazing performance by Terence Crawford. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but really it was about Bud Crawford. It was about what he accomplished tonight, and it was about, becoming the first undisputed world champion in the 4-belt era in 3 different weight classes. Really, and the way he did it, and the class that he showed all throughout the preparation, and just flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely.
Paulie emphasized what truly mattered: Crawford's dominance, composure, and the way he's built one of boxing's most complete careers, often giving opponents almost nothing. His breakdown went beyond the actions, highlighting the intelligence and precision behind every move.
He boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly the whole fight. He got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved Crawford. There were some good body shots Canelo was throwing, but Crawford started countering those very, very well. I think the key point started coming once, after the first round, Crawford shifted a lot and moved a lot. I wanted to just kind of see where Canelo's power was at. He caught a couple of shots on the gloves. And I think there came a point in the first 1 or 2 rounds where Crawford said, this guy's not as strong as I thought, because you started seeing Crawford hold his ground more and more. And you started seeing Crawford, doing a lot of catching.
Paulie highlighted how every adjustment and counter showed Crawford's total control, neutralizing Canelo's power with perfect timing and precision. It was boxing IQ at its peak. Crawford didn't just survive, he dismantled from the opening bell. eventually forcing frustration into Canelo's game.
Do a lot of catching and shooting. You got to be willing to take the shot, even if you're going to block it. If a guy's a big puncher, even blocking it can be uncomfortable. And Crawford started getting comfortable catching and shooting, especially when Canelo tried to go to the body. Crawford was catching the shots and coming back with the counters. Sharp shots. Crawford never loaded up, but he was sharp the whole night. Sharp with the jab, sharp with the counters, some well-placed body shots as well. Canelo landed here and there. I thought Canelo got really frustrated. I felt that headbutt was a little bit more than accidental, to tell you the truth, when he cut Crawford. I thought that was a little bit more of frustration, cause the headbutt may have been accidental, but then you saw Canelo kind of dig his head in Crawford's face. So I thought there was some frustration from Canelo's perspective, because he
Paulie painted a clear picture. Crawford punishing with precision, using discipline and timing over brute force. As Canelo ran out of answers and turned to rough tactics, Crawford stayed calm and in control, proving who dictated the fight. Paulie's breakdown was sharp, blunt, and brutally honest about Canelo's struggles under pressure.
Time Canelo has been down in his career, he has not shown an ability to both make an adjustment nor go for it and put his balls on the line. Not saying he's got no heart. Obviously, Canelo's been a very good fighter. I'm just saying there's a reason why the Mexican greats all have criticism for this guy. You know, Marquez, Morales, Barrera, and he's done disrespectful things to them, like not getting, like block their credentials from his fights and things of that nature, not let them cover fights. This is what they're talking about, dude. Every time this guy is behind, every time this guy needs to put his balls on the line, he just cruises to a decision loss and is content to do it. And then afterwards says, Viva Mexico, Mexico Cabrones, and his groupies just appease him and clap. These guys come from a different cloth. You know, the Mexican machismo of the old school greats in Mexican boxing is a different level. Not everyone is expected to live up to it, but the Mexican fighters themselves that did live up to it, they expect the new ones to live up to it. So when they don't, naturally they're going to express that. And of course, there's been some criticism from those kind of guys. And I'm not saying Canelo hasn't done some really good things, guys. It's not that. You can criticize a guy and still say he's been a good fighter and all this other stuff. But I think tonight, once again,
the contrast was undeniable. Crawford rose when it mattered most, while Canelo faded. Paulie's words struck at the core of why Mexican legends have been critical, not to dismiss Canelo's career, but to show the gap between comfort and true greatness. In that final take, Crawford's resilience stood tall as Canelo's limits became clear. Then Big John Fisher stepped in with his trademark straight talk, brief but impactful.
Boxing masterclass from Terence Crawford. Canelo tried everything, kept coming forward, kept throwing, but as soon as he got him where he wanted him, Terence just got out of trouble and was landing shots as he did it. Unbelievable.
Big John made it clear how one-sided the fight truly was. Crawford didn't just win, he controlled every moment with calm precision. His words highlighted the clear gap in levels, calling it pure mastery rather than luck. He later followed up with a balanced take, showing respect for both fighters while keeping his reflection honest and full of admiration.
I think there was a golfing class there, and I don't know whether Canelo will be able to gap that at his age in life. So, listen, two great warriors, two great champions. Honour to be here.
Big John acknowledged the harsh truth that sometimes the gap in skill is simply too wide. For Canelo, age and timing made the climb even steeper. Yet Big John didn't dismiss the effort, framing it as two champions leaving everything in the ring. His reflection balanced Crawford's brilliance with respect for a warrior who fell short. Then Johnny Fisher weighed in, focusing on the finer details that revealed how Crawford's dominance was not only physical, but deeply psychological.
Crawford, every round he came out and started that round with the first 20-30 seconds and made an impression on the judges. And that not only makes an impression on the judges, it sets the tone to the other fighter. They end up in a psychological state where they think they've got to go and chase the rest of the round. And I just think, I was waiting for that turn, what Canelo does, round 6, round 7, to turn the tide of the fight, like he did against Billy Joe or Caleb Plant, but it never happened. And even though Crawford's two weight classes down from him, he didn't look like that. He looked like he was in complete control.
Johnny explained how Crawford set the tone from the very first seconds of each round, forcing Canelo to chase a fight that was never within reach. The usual turning point never arrived. Crawford stayed 2 steps ahead, unaffected by size, blending dominance with rhythm and control with simplicity. He followed up with an even bolder statement, placing Crawford's win firmly in the history books, his words carrying the weight of true recognition.
I said that myself. I've never seen Canelo look that negative of his body language to round 9 to round 12. I've never seen anyone do that to Canelo, and Crawford's proved himself to be a generational great. He's put himself on that Mount Rushmore of boxing, and it's great to see. And you can actually hear the start of the fight, Canelo. By the end, you can hear Crawford come.
Johnny highlighted something rarely seen. Canelo looking defeated not only on the scorecards, but in his body language, a collapse unlike anything before. Brought on by Crawford's brilliance, his words placed Crawford among the all-time greats, a generational talent now etched onto boxing's Mount Rushmore. From the first chant of Canelo's name to the final echoes of Crawford's, the energy shift marked the rise of a new king. Then Bill Haney stepped in with his trademark raw take, speaking with the tone of someone who had just witnessed history.